Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Emily. I also go as MCAT here on YouTube, and I am starting a new, what am I calling this? Bookbox Showdown. I'm starting a new Bookbox Showdown blog. First up, I guess I should tell you which box I'm doing. I'm working on Owlcrate. The first one I'm working on is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. I think this came sometime last year. I don't think these books tell me what month they came, but I got this sometime last year, and my audiobook is expiring for it tomorrow, so I have been working on it. This is about, if I'm being completely honest, it feels like Harry Potter fanfiction, which normally isn't a good thing for me, but this time it's not annoying. It's just like the world feels very similar to that world. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing to have an author that is not J.K. Rowling giving us books like that for kids to read, or adults. This is more adult than children, I think. Anyways, this is about a magic school, and our main character that we're following is a professor. I think her name is Dr. Walden. I can't remember her first name. Maybe it's Sappy. I think it's Sappy. She is a professor at this magic school, and she specializes in demons. So she is teaching kids how to safely summon a demon. I guess they're useful in people's lives. I haven't really figured out how they're useful yet, so it's a little confusing about why they're even doing it. But there is a major demon that's attached to the school. Apparently demons are drawn to magic power that's uncontrolled, and because there are so many kids who are still learning how to control their power, this demon is drawn to the school. I think I'm about halfway through right now. I was listening to the audiobook. I read quite a bit with the audio earlier today, but I had to switch to just the audio while I was doing some other stuff, and I'm liking it so far. I don't know that it has 5-star potential, but it's definitely like in 4-star territory, and I look forward to seeing where it goes. I know that Emily Tesh has written a book that I'm interested in. I think it might be called like Sleeping Giants or something. I can picture the cover, and it has like a man made out of plants on it. I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, in this book, one of the teenagers is at this school because she accidentally got all of her family killed because of her magical powers, so they put her in this school to make sure that she learns how to control it. And at the beginning of the book, we start out with a main character, Dr. Walden, and then I don't remember what they call them, but like the school resource officers who are supposed to make sure that the children aren't getting into too much trouble and that everyone's safe and things like that. One of them catches wind that the professor is teaching the students how to summon a demon next day, and she requests that she is allowed to be there to make sure that nothing goes wrong, and something does go wrong. They are originally only summoning like a demon of the 4th level, and something happens, and this big demon, who I think is an 11th or 12th level demon, so the higher the level, the harder it is to summon and control them. And during the summoning, everything's going fine. They summon a 4th level demon multiple times, so each student gets practice doing it, and then the last student comes around and he's very nervous, and something happens, and this 12th level demon shows up. His name is Old Faithful, and the student who killed her family is in this class, and she is learning how to summon the demon, and that's part of why the officer wanted to be there. She wanted to make sure that this student is not having a repeat of her past. But it turns out that this demon, the 12th level demon, is the same demon who killed her family. Or maybe he's not. Maybe that's what he told her. So this demon was like whispering to the students, and the teacher was like, yeah, they do that to try and control you, and she just kind of brushes it off, not knowing that it's what it's telling the students. But he is telling Nikki, the student whose family died, that he is the reason her family is dead, and she needs to summon him if she wants answers. And so she goes and does it. and that's where we're at. The professor has banished this demon. She got it under control and saved the students who were involved, and she is now trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Because apparently, if you kill this demon, another one is just going to show up because they're all drawn to this power. So now there's a hole that needs to be filled, and it's kind of like a devil you know, devil you don't sort of situation. Like, pick your poison. Do you want to deal with the demon you know, or do you want to risk getting a new one that could be worse? So yeah, that is where I'm at with this book. I'm liking it. I think for the rest of the vlog, I have a few things to pick from, but I know I want to read this one, Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, because it's on the NPR list. The Incandescent is also on the NPR list. And I also want to find out if I should just stop buying the fairy tale retellings from T. Kingfisher. I really love her horror. And I did like the Fall of the House of Usher, I think, retelling. The one with the mushroom fungus situation. I can't remember what it's called. What Moves the Dead is the first one, and there's 3 or 4 in the series. I liked the first one of that, but I haven't felt compelled to continue. And I really, really liked A House with Good Bones. And the rest of the things that I've read from her, all fairy tale retellings. I read The Sorceress Comes to Call and The Raven and the Reindeer, and I think there was one more, but I can't remember. And I didn't really love either of those two. I liked The Sorceress Comes to Call more than The Raven and the Reindeer. The Raven and the Reindeer was so boring. I think I gave it 2 stars. I hated that book. But I gave A Sorceress Comes to Call 3.5 or 4. It was better. And I want to get to this one so that I can make a final decision about fairy tale retellings from her. It says that this one is a dark reimagining of Snow White. So I liked Snow White. So I guess we'll see if this is for me or not. I really like the design, especially knowing that it's Snow White now. I love the way this mirror looks on the front, and then the edges are the same way. And then for the other one, I have some options. Is this one? I think this one's Owlcrate, maybe. Yeah, that one's Owlcrate, so that's not an option. I have The Everlasting as an option for the 3rd book. I think I'm going to cut this off at 3 books. And then Violet Thistlewait is not a villain anymore. This one seems like it could be really cute and maybe quick to read. I also have Foul Days. I think this one's Owlcrate. Doesn't tell me. Okay, yes. Foul Days by Genevieve Demova. I have had this one probably the longest or the second longest out of all of my Owlcrate books. I don't know anything about this one, but it's an option. And I think my last option is... Yes. The last option that I'll have for this video is The Sins on Their Bones. So I have 6 total books. I'm going to read half of them. And I'm positive that I'm reading Hemlock and Silver in the Incandescent, and then I need to pick the 3rd one, and then the rest of the 3 will be probably the next vlog or the vlog after. I do still have the vampire books. Let me pull them out. I have The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk, which is Misha's 2nd book, and then Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which is supposedly between the 1st one and the 2nd one, but I think it has nothing to do with Misha, and you can read it at any point. And then I have also accumulated 3 Owlcrate horror books that I need to get to. So these will probably be a separate vlog. It'll probably be titled something else. But that's what we have right now. I am so close to being done with my Owlcrate books. I can taste it. I just need to get through them. So I think probably I would like to be done with this vlog series by the end of the summer, so like August or September. I put holds on most of my special editions and audio since I do struggle to sit and read physically a lot of the time, and I also don't love reading my special editions physically because if I end up not liking them and I want to sell them, most of the time they have like on the bottom, they have some damage on the bottom because I sit with my book like this, like up against me, or I'm on my treadmill holding it and flipping the pages while it's sitting on my treadmill. So the bottoms tend to get damaged. So audiobooks are generally the way to go, I think is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, that's what I have to say. I actually lied. I have 2 more Owlcrate books and another Owlcrate horror book. So there will probably be another vlog besides the ones that I just listed. I thought I was doing so well. I have skipped both of my subscriptions for May, and I need to go look, but I'm likely skipping both of them for June as well, and I will not get a horror book in June. The next horror book will come in July. So if I can get kind of caught up over the next couple of months, that would be really great. Otherwise, it is time for me to go shower and get ready for bed. It is 8:50 p.m. on Memorial Day, and I just got back from roller skating and would like to get in bed now and continue reading The Incandescent so that I can try and get as far as possible before my audiobook returns tomorrow. So I will see you probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I would like to finish this in the next couple of days so that I can move on. But yeah, that's where we're at. I will talk to you again soon. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. I am about 65% into The Incandescent. Apologies for the shaky filming. I'm just sitting on my couch talking to you. There's a man who has appeared in this book, and he is incredibly annoying. I think his name is Mark. And I'm getting a feeling that he is maybe not as nice as the book is trying to make him out to be. And I really hope that I'm right because I hate this guy and I want him to be the bad guy. I don't think I told you last night that after the giant demon was banished, they ended up firing the guard who was watching when she was doing like the student summoning. And this guard was potentially going to be romantically involved with our main character. And she has now shown up again for the Christmas party. And I really, really hope they end up together. But yeah, that's it. Not much else has happened. There are more little imps showing up because there's the big hole of energy to fill. And otherwise, the only thing that's been happening is her talking to this Mark guy and potentially getting romantically involved with him. So I'm still enjoying it, but this man is making me very annoyed. So I'll report back probably tonight. I don't think I'll finish the book because my loan runs out in about an hour and I have about 2 to 3 hours left of it. So we'll see how long my audiobook lets me listen. But yeah. I'll see you in a bit. Also, we moved this feeder. So this little one is the one that's usually here, but I also moved this big one because I could tell that more birds were using it than the little one, and it has been incredible. There's been at least 2 birds on it almost every time I've looked at it throughout the day. Hello and good morning. I finished The Incandescent last night. Apologies for this angle. My tripod is kind of broken. I think I need a new one. Unfortunately, I have tried super gluing this one and it doesn't seem to be fixing the problem. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I finished The Incandescent by Emily Tesh last night. I don't remember the last thing that I told you about it. All I know is that I kind of think I didn't tell you much about the middle plot. So the story starts out with them summoning a demon and this warden who is concerned about one of the students who had killed her family on accident with her magic, that kind of thing, observes, and it goes wrong. And then later on that student that she was worried about goes on to summon the big demon that is haunting the school and has been haunting the school for like 30 plus years. She goes on to summon it by herself, and that's like the first 30-ish% of the book. And then the rest of the book, after that, after they banish that demon and everyone's saved, all that, it becomes apparent that there's now a giant hole that this demon has left behind. And they are worried because something is going to come in and try to fill that hole, right? Well, something does. I won't tell you what because I feel like that's a big spoiler. But the rest of the book is about them fighting all of these things that are coming in. Overall, I think that this was a good book. I think maybe I should have read more of it physically instead of listening to so much of it, but time was of the essence. And I needed to finish it while I had the audiobook. Otherwise, it would have taken me weeks to finish this book. Because it has been taking me weeks to finish things that I'm reading physically. Unless I'm like really, really enthralled by it, it's taking forever. So yeah, I think I'm gonna settle on like 3.5 stars right now. I do think it had the potential to be a 4 or 5, but it just didn't hit with me the way a 4 or 5 has been hitting lately. Jury's still out on whether or not I will keep the book. I really liked the edition. I think it's very pretty. I like the edges and how Owlcrate does like the fabric bookmark. So I would like to keep the book. I don't know if I will. We'll have to wait and see. I was going to do something fun with my eyeshadow today, but I'm running a lot further behind than I anticipated I would be. So we're just gonna do my usual brown and dark brown with eyeliner. In other news, I am becoming a massive drink goblin. I'm trying to like rein it in a little bit because there was one day this last weekend, this long weekend that we had, that I had like 4 drinks in one day. And when I say drinks, I don't mean like 4 cups of water, although I did have multiple cups of water at the same time. But I have recently gotten myself a Breville Bambino espresso machine. I have tried really, really hard to make my drip coffee situation work, and it's just not giving me any joy at all. Like, drinking my coffee in the morning is not fun, and I know there are a lot of people who like don't really care what their coffee tastes like. They just need the caffeine. And I mean, I do need the caffeine, but I also like really love having the ritual of making coffee in the morning. And I need my coffee to taste good. Bottom line, the coffee needs to taste good. And my situation right now is not working unless I like buy some creamer, and I don't really want to be a creamer person anymore. I like to just have some almond milk or whatever milk I have. The only one I really avoid is oat milk because it spikes my blood sugar really badly. It makes me feel awful. So yeah, I bought a Breville Bambino. I was originally going to buy myself a Books Palma, a new e-reader, for my birthday. I had saved up for it. I had $300 set aside, and then my husband got fired. And it was the week before my birthday that he got fired. But I decided not to buy it and not to go like as big for my birthday as I had planned to. And he now has a job, and it doesn't pay as much, but we also kind of realized that we could change the way that we were living enough that I could cover all of our bills, not debt payments, unfortunately, but all of our monthly bills with my paychecks. And my paychecks haven't changed. We didn't lose health insurance or anything, so we didn't need to worry about that. and I was paying all of our bills and still had a little bit extra left over. So I'm paying all the bills with my paychecks, and then all of his paychecks are going towards our car payment and savings. So for the most part, I can put pretty much all of his new income to something. So we are planning to pay off our car this year, which was not the plan originally. We have about $7,000 left on it, and as long as nothing unforeseen happens, I think we can have that paid off by November, and also put about the same amount of money in savings. So what was I talking about? So going back to the Breville Bambino, I think that's what I was trying to talk about. I took the $300 that I had set aside for the books Palma and bought an espresso machine instead, because it felt like that would enrich my life a lot more than a new e-reader. And I do still want to get the books Palma. It's just not a priority right now. I'm just gonna make it work. The majority of the reason I wanted to get that is because I want to divest from Amazon. I currently have a Kindle, and I don't love showing the Kindle brand in my videos or my pictures, so I try to like block out the name at the bottom. But I also can't listen to books and film at the same time, so because I have to use my phone to listen to books, and when I'm recording it won't play anything else. So I want to get back into vlogging, and honestly a large part of the reason I haven't been vlogging is because it is so hard for me to get B-roll when I'm actually reading things, unless I happen to have it on my computer. And yeah, so that was the reasoning. I wanted a Books Palma, decided not to get it. I'm gonna start saving up again for that, and hopefully in the next few months or something I can afford that too. But yeah, I've become a drink goblin. I've had the Bambino for a few days, and I'm still fiddling with it, trying to figure out my like perfect way to pull a shot. There's so much conflicting information online. There's also so much conflicting information online about sourdough, so I'm trying to like sift through that and do both of those things right now. I've gotten really into sourdough. I finally have my starter active, and it looks good, it smells good, but I can't get a perfect loaf. I'm on like my 4th loaf, and this most recent one is the best one I've made. It's probably the closest to like a good loaf that I've made, but it still needs some tweaking. On top of the espresso situation, which has become like a big morning ritual for me, I have also started making like nature's Gatorade, or whatever people are calling it. I've ended up on this side of Instagram that is primarily about making fun little drinkies at home. I don't really drink alcohol that much. My husband loves old fashions, and he likes to get these things that are like lemonade and tea together. I think they're called Arnold Palmer's. He likes to do that every so often. I don't really drink. I don't really like the way alcohol tastes most of the time, and I don't really love the way it makes me feel. So I'd still like to have a fun little drink while he's having his fun little drink though. And so I have ended up on this side of Instagram where I'm getting all these videos of like nature's Gatorade. I made one this weekend and it tasted pretty good, but I think it needs a different kind of juice or something with a little more kick. It was pineapple juice, hibiscus tea, which I struggled to find just a hibiscus tea. The tea that I found is hibiscus, orange peel, and something else. And I want just hibiscus, I think. So I need to go to a different store and see if I can find that somewhere else. But anyways, you brew the hibiscus tea, you put honey in it. I can't remember how much. It was like a tablespoon or something for 2 cups of hibiscus tea. And then it called for coconut water. I don't know that you really needed the coconut water. I don't think it added that much to it. I think you can just do regular water. And you put like half as much pineapple juice as you have tea in a big cup. And then you put a bunch of ice, and then you put as much coconut water as you had tea, I think, or maybe as much as the pineapple juice. I can't remember the exact ratios right now. But it was pineapple juice, hibiscus tea, and coconut water. And I think you can just replace the coconut water with regular water. and then you put a dash of salt in it. I didn't do the dash of salt because my salt grinder was out and I didn't feel like filling it. So maybe adding that to it would make it taste a little bit better. But there was just like not a ton of dimension to it. I mentioned that I made this drink on Fall Into Steph's sprints the other day, and she said maybe I'll have a hibiscus lemonade. And I was like, lemonade might be a good addition to this because the tartness would counteract the issue I was having. And then I found a whole bunch of other drinks that are like fruits and water, and I have been wanting to get into fruit water for quite a while now. Ever since we went to the massage parlor and they gave us cucumber water and it was like life-changing after my massage. I've been wanting to get into water that has a little bit more than just plain water. So this is my foray into that. And then the other drink that I have been having a lot is creatine. I am going to talk a little bit about body image and recomposition. I'm not going to talk about weight loss because that's not one of my goals. But if you don't want to hear somebody talking about their body and what they're doing to change it, maybe skip the next few minutes. I'll try to keep it short. But if you have been around, you probably know that I had 2 surgeries last year, and the year before I broke my foot. And I am like out of PT. I'm fully recovered for the most part, and I am currently working on strength training a lot. And I also want to get back into running. One of my big goals for this year was to be able to run a 5K, and I'm slacking on it. I was doing pretty good when I was in PT and they were forcing me to run so that they could watch me and videotape me and stuff, but I have not been running for a while because I was focusing so hard on gaining strength back. But anyways, back to the creatine. I have a nutritionist, and I think my PT also suggested this while I was going to him, but they both have suggested that I start taking creatine regularly because it has been scientifically proven to help grow and maintain muscle mass. And because I have lost so much muscle mass in my legs, I have decided that I'm just going to go for it. My husband also takes creatine. He likes to weightlift a lot, and he has seen a lot of good come from taking creatine. I don't know if it's the creatine or if he's just naturally gifted in gaining muscle, but he's also taking it, so we're like taking it together to encourage each other and encourage each other to go to the gym and everything. We go together for the most part. But I have gotten the pink burst flavor of creatine and glutamine from Clean Simple Eats, which was recommended by my nutritionist, and I've actually ended up loving the brand. You can use code Jenna Bestie for Jenna the Bariatric Bestie for 10% off if you're interested in that. That's someone I really love to follow on Instagram as well. I think she has a YouTube, but she doesn't post many long form videos yet. She does focus on weight loss, so be aware of that if you go look at her page. But she recommends Clean Simple Eats pretty often, and I have their protein. I've tried their electrolyte variety pack, and there are a few flavors that I don't love. I really love the freeze pop flavor, and the sour cherry one has been growing on me, but the other flavors are just okay. So I got a big pack of the freeze pop while it was on sale last weekend, and I have been mixing my creatine with an electrolyte packet, or if I don't really feel like I want or need electrolytes that day, I'm mixing it with a flavor packet, like a 0 sugar flavor packet, to encourage me to get a little bit more water in too. I was shooting for 80 ounces and I've been upping it since it's hotter in summertime. Also, I have a new haircut. I just got this done last week. I really like it, but I'm still kind of figuring out what to do with it. When I went to bed last night, my hair was super wavy, and when I woke up this morning, it was flat. So I'm trying to figure out like what to do to preserve waves. I don't know if I need to like put hairspray in my hair while it's partially dry or what, but I'm just gonna add in a few curls before I head to work today and some texture spray to give it some volume. Being a little drink goblin, I generally have had at least a water and the creatine every single day. Well, no, I've had an espresso, water, and creatine every single day. And some days I also have that nature's Gatorade situation. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know who I've become. I don't know why I feel the need to have so many little drinkies. This didn't used to be me. But here we are. I'm very hydrated, and I actually noticed a change in my energy levels from being so hydrated. So maybe it's a good thing. I also haven't had a craving for a Dr. Pepper in the last week. Like the last time I had a real craving for one was when we were at our conference last week before the holiday weekend. Anyways, I think those are my main updates. The next book in this vlog is probably going to take me a while to get to. I don't have any of the other two on audio yet, and I can read it, I can start it, but I am probably going to hold off until June to start the next one so that I can try and finish up what I'm currently reading before Tarot Readathon and Amazing Readathon start. I have not decided if I'm participating in both or not. I know I'm definitely doing Tarot Readathon. That is my favorite readathon of all time. I really love Noelle 7 Pages, who is one of the creators. Deja's Book World is the other one. And I just really love the readathon. I've participated the last couple of years. I don't think I've been around since year 1, unfortunately for me. But I have been participating pretty regularly for the last few years, and I always join whatever team Steph is on, even though I am a fire sign and pentacles are not the sign of fire. So yeah, maybe check it out if you see this before the month is up. Join Team Pentacles and hang out with us. I think you should check it out either way. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I liked The Incandescent. I'm probably going to read Hemlock and Silver or The Everlasting next. I'm going to go now. Goodbye. Good morning, friends. I have no idea where I left off in this video. I know I'm reading Owlcrate books, but I cannot remember what the first book I read was because I have paused to film a completely different video. And I have read like 4 books for that one. So I am coming at you with a little update. Like I said, I don't remember what I read last for this. I know it was an Owlcrate book. Don't remember what. But I started Hemlock and Silver last night, and I think I'm like an hour or 2 into the audiobook, which means I'm like 15-ish% through. And I am liking it more than I anticipated. I am enjoying this much more than A Sorceress Comes to Call, which is also by T. Kingfisher and something that I read last year. It was also an Owlcrate book. And I don't have much to tell you besides the synopsis that I already told you about. It is about a woman who is visited by the king and asked to save his daughter because he believes that she's being poisoned. And I don't know that the synopsis told us this part, but he apparently killed his wife because he found his wife trying to cut out their other daughter's heart. And the other daughter also did not live. So he is in dire straits. His other daughter, the one that did not get her heart cut out, is not doing well. And he believes that this poison master, who is being called a healer because if people find out that she specializes in poisons, they will try to kill her because of the time that she lives in. We don't have much more information than that. I think I'm on like chapter 5 or something, and we've gotten a little bit of background information about her and why she got into poisons. And it appears that one of her cousins died from eating poison hemlock, and she became obsessed with finding the antidote to poison hemlock because she was told multiple times by different people that there was just no antidote and you just had to let yourself die, and she did not like that answer. So far I'm enjoying it. It's giving me, I feel like she has 2 writing styles. One is the writing style she primarily uses for her fantasy retellings, not fantasy, her fairy tale retellings. That's what I was trying to say. And then she has another writing style that she uses for her brand new horror. Like, they're novel ideas. They are not things that she is revisiting from other authors. And in the past, I have much preferred the horror writing, but this time I'm enjoying this one. I haven't really enjoyed her retellings in the past, so I was iffy on this one. I mean, it remains to be seen. Sorry if you hear this, my sunblock is almost out. It remains to be seen if that will continue to be the case, or if it will take a turn like most of her other retellings have done for me and end up not being that great. I do have one more update for the video that's not related to this book, but I got the audiobook for Water Moon, which was not originally on the docket for this vlog. But I think since I've waited so long for the audiobook, I'm just going to swap the Everlasting with Water Moon, and I'll read the Everlasting in the next one. I don't know much about Water Moon. I know that it has like a mystery aspect. A lot of people haven't really liked it, but I also know a lot of people don't really like mystery. They start reading mysteries without realizing that they're mysteries and thinking they're something else, and they end up not liking it. So I'm wondering if Water Moon will be a situation where I really like it because I like mysteries, or if it's just not a good book and that was why people didn't like it. I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm looking forward to starting that. It'll probably be something I read over the weekend because I don't want to lose my audiobook. But I also have a few other audiobooks that are gonna expire. So I need to work on those as well. Otherwise, I don't really have anything else to say. So I will see you when I have an update on Hemlock and Silver, probably tomorrow. Little burps. But I will be keeping this one. I think the only thing I didn't love about this was some stuff in the ending, and then there was a romance in it, and I don't necessarily think that the romance didn't need to exist, but I think it needed to be built up more. So for the majority of the book, the romance was one-sided. What is her name? Althea? Anya. Anya the healer was thinking she liked this guy. She thought that maybe he liked her too, and then there was a point, actually in the scene I was just talking about halfway through the book, where he makes the nasty face and she takes that to mean that he is disgusted by her. So it's completely one-sided. We only get Anya's point of view for the whole book. And she goes on thinking, oh yeah, this guy would never like me. He's very attractive and I like him, but there's no way he'd ever be in love with me. And there's not really like interactions of them talking about it until the very end. And then they end up, spoiler alert, sleeping together. And it just felt not fully solidified, not fully realized. So I was a little confused and I didn't really love it. I don't mind the guy that she was interested in, but the way they got there just didn't really make sense to me. And then there were a few other things with the very end of the book that made me unhappy. So this got a 4.5. I liked the rest of the story. I was enthralled. I had a good time. I'm still not positive that I love her retellings, but I do love her horror, and this one leaned more horror, as did What Moves at Night? What Moves the Dead? The mushroom one? That one leans more horror too. So I think her retellings that lean more horror really work for me, but the other ones don't. So moving on, I have a bonus book to tell you about. This one is from the Owlcrate horror subscription. I will unfortunately be unhauling it. This is We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer. And I am kind of sad that I don't want to keep it. I really wanted to like this. I was excited to read it. I thought the synopsis sounded really good. This is set in a dystopian world. It kind of reminds me of The Walking Dead and The Happening if it had a baby, if they had a baby together. And it was fine. Like, the plot itself was fine. Let me move you a little bit so that you can actually see me. The plot itself was fine, but this book read really, really young, which wouldn't necessarily be an issue because the main character that we're reading about is pretty young. I'm not even sure that they are actually an adult yet. But I thought that the Owlcrate horror books were going to be fully adult. Like, I thought that this was an adult subscription box, and I don't think that this is technically adult. I would qualify it as new adult, if not young adult, but it read very young, and I didn't love it. And then there was a big twist towards the end that I also didn't love. I could see it coming from a mile away, and it just didn't surprise me at all. So this was okay. I think if you don't really know anything about The Walking Dead or The Happening and you haven't read a lot of dystopian fiction and you don't mind a younger narrative, this one could really work for you. It just didn't really work for me, unfortunately. So that is what it is. And then I have one last update. We are officially switching out The Everlasting for Watermoon by Samantha Sotoyambo. I have the audiobook for this out, and I need to listen to it before it expires because I've waited over a year for it. So we are switching to this, and I will read The Everlasting in a future vlog, hopefully in the next month or so. But this one I don't really know much about, so I'm going to read you the synopsis right now. It says, on a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will see a cozy ramen restaurant, and only the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hana Ishikawa wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike its other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together they must journey through a mystical world to find Hana's father and the stolen choice. By way of rain puddles, rides on paper cranes, the bridge between midnight and morning, and a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hana must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice that she will never be able to take back. So it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a mystery book. I don't know if I've ever shown you the special edition that I have. So this is the naked hardcover. That's the front. The spine, I don't think the spine has any words on it. No. Spine has no words on it. It's completely matte. And then the back. And I think this is... it's not foil. I thought it was foil, but it's not. I really like the edges. I think they're very pretty. And then the inside is very pretty as well. I don't mind this art style. A lot of times the special editions I get have an art style that I don't like. It looks like the front and the back are the same. And then the inside of the dust jacket. Nice. So yeah, I think this has a bit of a mystery in it, and that might be why so many people I saw didn't like it. I know a lot of people end up not liking mysteries, so I would not be surprised if that was the reason they didn't like this one. I have not read any of this author's other books, so I guess this will be my intro, and maybe I'll read it more if I like this one. I'm probably not going to start that one until tomorrow. I think I'll actually, since we're showing off special editions, this is the We Call Them Witches edition. And then the back. So these creatures on the cover are the witches. It's like a post-apocalyptic world, and these creatures are killing everybody. And then the edges. I don't love the edges on this one. And then the dust jacket has no reverse. So yeah, that's the update. I need to go to the gym with my husband. I think we're leaving in supposed to be 5 minutes. We'll see if that happens. And then I'm going to walk a little bit and switch to probably Murder Bimbo instead for the night. And then tomorrow I will start Water Moon and hopefully have an update for you. I do have to work tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. We are doing an event and I will be spending most of the day at that event. So I don't know how much I'll read, but I'm hoping to at least start it. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello and welcome back. We are in a new location. It is currently Monday afternoon and I have spent almost my entire day cleaning. I still have to mop and finish folding the laundry, but I'm going to wait until my husband gets home to help me fold the towels and put away my hanging up stuff and mop after we have dinner and go to the gym. So my to-do list is like a little over halfway done. I had a lot of things on it today. I don't think I told you. I took today off. Today is Monday before 4th of July. I had to work on Saturday and I really didn't want to go in today. So I took today off. And I have now spent over half of it cleaning. I have about 2.5 hours before I need to change to get ready for the gym and go feed the dogs that we're house sitting for. Or pet sitting. We're doing house sitting and pet sitting. We're doing all of it. But we need to go feed them. And then we're going to head to the gym from there. I did not think about these logistics. I'll worry about that later. I'll worry about that when we get home from the gym and stuff. Anyways, I have an update on Water Moon. I started this, I think I'm probably like 60-70% of the way through already. I've been listening to it the whole time I've been cleaning. And the synopsis that I read to you is pretty much what's happened. So it starts out in a magical pawn shop. People end up in here when the universe thinks they need to. When they have something that they want to get rid of but can't. Sorry, the microphone to my husband's computer was on. And I don't think it's broadcasting anywhere, but just in case, I wanted to turn it off. Anyways, what I was saying was, this pawn shop attracts people who don't know that it exists. They think they're going into a ramen restaurant, and then they end up in a pawn shop when they go through the door. And the owner of this pawn shop, they're like magical beings. They're not completely human. I guess they look human, but they're not human. And they take somebody's secret away for them, like something that is heavy on their conscience that they've been living with. They take that away from the people and let them live an easier life in exchange for something. I can't remember. I think it's the one trade that they showed before the rest of the story started happening was maybe something that was in her pocket. She gave them something that was in her pocket and her secret that she doesn't want to live with anymore. And that's it, I think. But these secrets turn into like birds, and then they keep the birds for this other group of people who come collect them every so often. But if you steal one of these birds, then you die, supposedly. And this is what has happened to the shopkeeper's wife. And the shopkeeper at the beginning of the book is about to transfer over the ownership of this shop to his daughter. He's going to retire and she's going to take it on. And that's what's supposed to happen. But she wakes up on the first morning that she's supposed to be taking care of the shop, and he's missing. The building looks like it's ransacked, and one of the memories is gone. And I don't completely understand what happened, but she is like trying to figure this out, trying to leave to go find her dad when her first customer comes in. And I think that this man is kind of fishy. I think he knows more than he's letting on, and we're getting like flashbacks into this guy's life and why he's in Japan, which is where this book is set, and how he ended up there and what he was doing in his human life. And I'm getting a fishy feeling about him. I think he knows more than he's letting on, and he is always so happy to do all of these things that aren't good things to do, like giving up your memory to go into a museum is one of the things that they had to do. And he was ready. He was willing to just give up his memory full send. He was ready to do it. And he's also romantically interested in this woman. And I think that the romance is being very forced. And I feel like maybe it's a me problem at this point, because I've said this about a few fantasy books this year. Like, The Spell Shop, Enchanted Greenhouse both had romances that I didn't necessarily think needed to happen. There was one that I just read. I can't remember which one it was, but that one had a romance that I don't think needed to happen in order for the story to be good. And I mean, maybe in the end of this book, the romance will make sense and it'll be like a plot point, but for right now, it just feels really forced. So this is sitting at like a 3-star for me right now. I am gonna go play a Nancy Drew game until it's time to go to the gym, and then I think I'm gonna finish Water Moon after we come home. I want to take a break. My ear hurts from having a headphone in it, and I also just want to enjoy the game instead of multitasking. So I'm gonna eat my lunch and enjoy the game, and I will check back in with you probably tonight or tomorrow after I finished it. What is that?
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. This is my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around if you want to.
Hello and welcome back. I have not talked to you for almost a week. I did finish Water Moon. This one. I finished it last Tuesday, and I am unfortunately unhauling this one, which isn't that bad. I read these 3 for this video. I also read We Called Them Witches, but that was a little side quest. It's not something that was officially on the TBR. I did like Water Moon. It was okay. It just wasn't my favorite. It was pretty predictable, and everything that I told you is pretty much the plot. Like, the entire storyline is our main character, whose name I cannot remember anymore, and the man who shows up at her shop, going into the spirit world and figuring out what happened to her dad. And I can't tell you much other than that without spoiling it, but it was all pretty predictable. There was the group of people who come for the birds after they take them from the humans who come in. They are after these 2 people the entire time, and it never fails. They always get found. So it was just really predictable, and again, I didn't really care for the romance. I felt like it was very forced, and by the end of the book, it was like we didn't even really build up this relationship. It was just kind of there from the beginning. So unfortunately, I will be unhauling that one, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I still really liked The Incandescent and Hemlock and Silver, and Water Moon just unfortunately didn't work for me. It is what it is. I have the audiobooks for 3 more Owlcrate books out from the library as we speak, and this coming week I will be vlogging those 3, so you will have another Owlcrate vlog coming your way very soon. After that, I have I think maybe 5 Owlcrate books left, 4 or 5. Not counting the horror books. Those will probably get sprinkled in as I'm reading the fantasy subscription books, but I'm not going to give those their own video at this point, since I already read one and put it in here instead. So I think we have 2 more Owlcrate videos coming. 3 more because I have 5 or 6. If I only have 4 books, I don't only have 4 books. I definitely have 5. So yeah, there will be 2 more Owlcrate videos for sure. And yeah, after that, we'll be caught up on Owlcrate. I will say that I got the email notification this month that I am at my skip limit for Owlcrate. If I skip July, so like this coming month, so I skipped July for both Owlcrate and Owlcrate, but the like subscription for August bills in July, so I'm assuming what they mean is that if I skip my billing in July, then I will have hit my 6 and they will consider my subscription canceled at that point. Which is weird to me because they said that you can skip up to 6 times and then you just can't skip anymore after that or your subscription is considered canceled. So I'm not sure. I need to read more into that. But either way, I have almost hit my limit for Owlcrate and will likely be canceling that one this month or next month. So yeah. That's it for the updates. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I would really appreciate if you would like and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.